like melodic death metal meets black metal here, and we are about to dig into this riff. You're going to learn how to play this. Before we get into that though, real quick, my Patreon supporters, you guys have the tabs and the backing tracks for both the 7-string and the 6-string version. You've got backing tracks for the 7 and the 6. I know not everyone has a 7-string, so you've got both tracks to play along with. Make sure you download those. Guys, we're going to just jump right into this thing. Hang around for our guitar chat at the end of this video. We've got some other cool stuff to share, and I have a question for you at the end as well. Let's start out by playing the riff out in the open here. First, we're only playing this on 2 strings, okay? If you're playing a 7-string guitar, I'm in standard tuning, I'm only playing the B and the E string. If you're on a 6-string guitar, you'll just play your E and A string, and it doesn't matter what it's tuned to. It's the concept that we're gonna get down here, okay? The second thing I want to point out is we're only playing 4 notes on each of those strings, so that really simplifies everything. Now, of course, we're alternate picking this part. We've got another section. You heard the power chords in the beginning, the intro there. We're gonna go over that as well. But first, we're starting out with that really cool tremolo picking, which that coupled with the notes that we're playing here, what are called half steps, man, it just gives it this really evil vibe to it. We're going to start out on the E string in my case. Again, 7-string standard tuning here. The frets that we're going to be playing are 10, 9, 6, 7. That's it. 10, 9, 6, 7. So let's go through that real quick. What makes this thing sound so cool is we're playing those half steps, and what I like to call this are the notes that don't seemingly fit in that key that you're playing in, but they just give it this really cool vibe. And that's the beauty of metal music. I mean music in general, but especially when you're playing some of the more extreme styles, the death metal, the black metal, that sort of thing, using those notes like what we're doing, using this combination here, right? You're not playing the typical major or minor scale or whatever. It's not based on any of that. Now, of course, there's some theory behind this, and I actually have something for you if you're interested in that. So hang around for that. We're just doing these little half steps here, okay? Going from 10 to 9, going down. Then we're going to go over to the 6th fret and come up to the 7th. So there are a lot of little contrasting things going on as well. A lot of these little elements. I want you to think about this as you're writing your own riffs. Think about these little elements, how you can go one way and then go here and go the opposite way. Little things like that I want you to think about when you're writing. So let's hop over to the next string. In my case, it's going to be that B string, similar to what we just did, but we're going to kind of do some things just a little backwards, or at least one part of that. So we're going to play the 9th fret, then the 10th. Okay, it's going to sound like this. So let's combine both of those, and let's throw in our alternate picking, because that's kind of the culprit of this lesson as well, right? Now let's add the power chords in there, and basically we're just doing the same exact thing. We're just playing power chords instead, okay? Now, another little thing that we're doing that kind of breaks up the pattern is we're letting that last chord of each string that we're starting on kind of ring out a little bit before going over to the next series of notes. This, to me, kind of lets the music breathe a little bit. This is something that sometimes will, and maybe it doesn't happen to you, but it sort of aggravates me sometimes when the music is just so busy and it's just like a lot going on. It's like, okay, let's give the music a chance to breathe, okay? And that's what this does here. We hold that one chord out. Let me go through this one more time. I can hear some really cool like black metal false chord vocals over the top of that. But you get what I'm talking about, letting the song breathe a little bit. And this is not a rule, guys. I mean, you might have a song you're writing or a part that's just all a bunch of notes, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to encourage you to allow some dynamics to enter in at some point. And this is a good way, a good example to allow the song to breathe a little bit. Now it's time for our guitar chat, but real quick first, if you do not have my free practice guide, Metal Riffs and Licks, this guide has literally helped thousands of guitar players on my YouTube channel. Grab a copy of that. I've got a link in the description. If you already have that, then hey, check out one of my guitar courses. I've got Metal Riff Master. That course has over 80 riffs, and you're playing in different keys and using some different methods and techniques and so forth. That's helped a lot of folks as well. Now, if you're just starting out, I do have a beginner's course called Metal Guitar Apprentice. That's great for beginners, or if you need to revisit the basics and the fundamentals of metal guitar. There are a lot of cool concepts, a lot of cool elements to this riff that you just learned. The one thing I want to encourage you guys to do is take these concepts and apply them throughout the fretboard. Play this same riff maybe on a different set of strings, okay? I don't mean change your guitar strings, but you know, play it on like some higher strings. That was a bad pun. Anyway, just play it in different places and just think about what we went through. Think about, for one, how did we get that evil sound, right? What do we do to get that, like that death metal, black metal style? So one of the things were the half steps and then adding the alternate picking to that. And of course, the way we went about that, our approach to that was we started with a high note to low note, right? We did that. Then we go to another spot and played a lower note to a higher note. So that gave it this really wicked contrast, right? And a lot of times when you have that contrast between parts of your song, that's what gives it that overall vibe, whatever vibe you're looking for, okay? Whatever sound you're looking for. Well, those types of concepts, they can do just that. Now, we could have went, you know, from a high note to low note, then somewhere else from a high note to low note. You could do that, and hey, I encourage you to try that. Why not? There are no rules in music, which is great. Speaking of rules, I mentioned music theory earlier, and you guys know I am not a music theory buff. I know what I need to know. You kind of inadvertently learn a lot of this stuff if you've been playing guitar for any amount of time, and I don't discourage that. So if you want to learn the theory details behind this specific riff right here, my partner, who is the co-owner of Metal Mastermind with me, he's got a new video out on our YouTube channel, on the Metal Mastermind YouTube channel, on the music theory behind this specific riff called How to Make Your Riff Sound More Evil. So check that video out. I'll put it up here for you. Real quick, for those of you who don't know Ken Candelas and Metal Mastermind, so we started this a few years ago, probably about 3 years ago now, and it's an entire education platform for metal musicians. All of my guitar courses are on that platform. We've got our songwriting course, Ken's metal music theory course, Alfred Potter, he has a sweep picking course on there. We've got a vocal course and so forth. So do check that out. I'll also leave that video, the link to that video, in the description of this video here. Now, I want to end with one question for you guys. Are you guys okay with me having the 7-string lessons on here, even if you don't own a 7-string? I guess the bigger question is, do the 6-string players, do you guys still watch these videos with me giving 7-string lessons here? So I'd love to know that in the comments. It kind of helps me know what type of content I need to make and maybe how often I should make 7-string videos, because I don't want to make a bunch of 7-string videos if the majority of my audience here, if you guys are just playing 6-string guitars, like, oh, another 7-string lesson, I want to skip that one. I'm always going to show you how to apply it to a 6-string guitar like I did in this video. I mean, of course, you just, you know, play it on those strings on your 6-string, no big deal, right? But sometimes the 7-string title of the video might throw some people off. We're like, I don't have a 7-string, so I'm going to skip Jason's video today. Please don't skip my videos. So just leave me some comments, guys, and let me know how many 6-string guitar players, if you don't own a 7-string, how many of you are still watching this video at this point? I'd love to know that in the comments. And if you guys are okay with this style, and hey, if you're a 7-string, if you primarily play 7-string guitar, or you have a 7-string, I'd love to know your thoughts on these lessons as well. So please drop me some comments, because I really try to cater my content to you guys. I mean, you guys are the reason why I do this, so, and I appreciate that. Guys, hey, give this video a quick like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Until the next video, as always, keep it metal.